Coaching carousel goes round and round, round and round, even if it's dumb as hell. Man, all these mid-season coaching firings, man, it's like a trend. It's like that flavor of the month kind of deal, that in vogue, cool thing to do. And then later on down the road, a few years out, you realize it was pretty damn stupid. And I don't care what anybody says. Firing coaches mid-season, man, unless it's some kind of an extenuating circumstances, is a dumbass thing to do. And we're going to talk about 3 or 4 different situations this week. We're going to start with those Wisconsin Badgers, who, in my opinion, are letting Barry Alvarez meddle and make them, for lack of a better term, shit the bed. Let's talk about it. The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking. Today's 80s song of the day, the reference song for this show, is Another One Bites the Dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites dust on the college football coaching carousel. I can hear Freddie Mercury singing this song right now and seeing all these coaches lining up, exiting college football for the unemployment line. But before we get to all that, I am the OCF. That's the Outlaw of College Football. Also known as JPC, that stands for Jesse Paul Clark on Facebook. Spelled J-S-S-E without the I. Now, getting right to it. This coaching carousel has me a little aggravated. I'm not going to lie, man. I understand that you want to dismiss your coaches. Now it's just like everybody wants to do it mid-season. Everybody. I mean, if you didn't think these coaches were going to make it through the season, then why did you keep them? You should have fired them at the end of last year instead of firing them not even mid-season. I could understand. I could almost understand if you fired them maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks out from the end of the season. Maybe you played 7 or 8 games. I don't think 3 or 4 or 5 games is a big enough sample size to be firing coaches. I think it's just blatant stupidity, to be quite honest with you. Wisconsin is probably, to me, their fans should be upset with their administration for what they did to Paul Chryst. Paul Chryst had a pretty damn good record. And what this smells like to me is Barry Alvarez. Barry Alvarez has been meddling in that program ever since he left and retired. And he was the AD, and I think he may be even retired from that. I don't know. Hell, the man may be dead by now. I don't know. Now, it's the ghost of Barry Alvarez. All I'm saying is this reeks of Barry Alvarez. And it's just like with the whole Phil Fulmer thing. These former coaches that stay around as athletic directors or special consultants are not special consultants, man. They're not even really athletic directors when they're named as such. They're just meddlers. It's not a good idea. It never has been a good idea to keep the former coach on as the boss of the current coach because he meddles. They can say what they want to say, but Barry Alvarez is the issue at Wisconsin, not Paul Chryst. And there's a reason Barry Alvarez retired. His teams were slipping. Let's look at this. I even got a little graph right here. Paul Chryst at Wisconsin overall, 67-26. Pretty damn good. 2015, he was 10-3. 16, 11-3. 2017, 13-1. 2018, 8-5. 10-4. 4-3 during the COVID year. 9-4 overall in 2021. And this year so far, 2-3. Now, I could understand. I went back and looked because I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he'd been slipping the last couple of years because I'm not a big Wisconsin follower. But you really can't hold a 4-3 COVID year against him because that's more of that damn AD. I'm not even going to say his name. They're not AD, excuse me. That commissioner. That commissioner for the Big Ten. I'm not going to say his name because he's a jackass. That was more his fault, the 4-3 year. But he has double-digit wins in 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 years out of his tenure, he has double-digit wins at Wisconsin. 1 year, 13-1. That's almost national championship contention record. I mean, what do you Wisconsin people expect? And it may not even be the Wisconsin fans. It may be the rich alumni boosters and the administrative jackasses in Madison that pulled the plug on a guy that overall is now 86-45. How do you pull the plug on a coach that's 86-45 because he started the year slow at 2-3? He's having one off year. The closest he ever come to having a losing record was 8-5 in 2018. And you're going to dismiss the man for a 2-3 record 5 games in because everybody else is doing it? Because Nebraska's doing it, Georgia Tech's doing it, Auburn's probably going to do it. I give you Auburn one thing. At least they're waiting to almost midway point to do it. I say that, and tomorrow they'll probably fire his ass. Y'all need to get Barry Alvarez out of the program. Y'all not going to like to hear that because y'all adore him and y'all worship him, even though he never really won anything major to me. I mean, he won the Big Ten Conference a few times, but there's a lot of coaches that won conference championships. He never won a national title. Paul Chryst, he won a Big Ten title. He never won a national championship, but golly, man, really? Like I said, man, the Barry Alvarez thing, field former thing, and to some degree, and this is probably going to piss off some of my center people, Bob Stoops, they need to step back from the program sometimes and let it run without meddling. Now, if you'd never been the head coach, Barry, well, then it'd be okay for you to be in there and being a part of the administration and the athletic director and all that. But it's being the former head coach and you bringing someone else in and you are constantly looking over their shoulder, man, that's just not a good deal. I just don't understand what y'all think y'all going to get that's better. Wisconsin's never won a national championship in football. So how y'all going to get pissed off at this man for having 4 years of double-digit wins at Wisconsin? Now, it's not exactly a glamorous place to go play football. It's probably a difficult place to recruit to, just like Nebraska. But at least Nebraska is letting their coach go for a good reason. Scott Frost, he's got a losing record at Nebraska, and he's lost a lot of games at Nebraska. Paul Chryst has won 67 games in how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. The man won 67 games. And y'all let him go. And that's why I say, man, there's going to have to be something done, man. These people are going to have to come to grips. They paid him $11 million to get fired. It's just going to drain college football eventually. I mean, these buyouts, eventually it's going to catch up to you. You're going to be in the red like the University of Tennessee was for quite some time and go through a shitload of coaches that ain't worth a damn. Now, Tennessee's just now recovering somewhat. It's because why? They got rid of Philip Fulmer. He's probably still lurking around. But for the most part, he's not directly involved that I know of. And Barry can come to the games and make speaking engagements and have nostalgic meetings with the alumni. But stay out of the damn business of the university, Barry. Step back and let it run. Y'all, I really think that this was a big mistake by Wisconsin. I believe y'all freaking lost your noodle. That's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.